Good evening, legends. Welcome back into the Master Chef kitchen on this very chilly evening in Cape Town. We're trying to keep warm. We've got our fireplace going. We've got a little hot toddy waiting for us before bed, but we've got a lovely little winter warmer meal to go on before that. So we've got the next 40 minutes or so to cook together. Looking forward to it, as always. Last week we had an awesome session with Bats's Basson. I don't know how many of you were there with us. Tonight we're back here in the humble abode, and we're doing a beautiful fish on Papillote. So have a look at all the ingredients. If you haven't sort of checked it out on the post, if you need to do a last minute prep, you can see over there. I'll run you through some of the ingredients shortly. And before we get going, there's not a lot of prep to do, just a little bit of slicing and dicing. And then I think the hardest thing is going to be wrapping a little envelope of wax paper. And we're going to stick it in the oven, and it's going to be ready, chop chop. So I'm looking forward to it. Check in, guys. Let me know who's here. Say hello. Let me know how you're all doing. Throw some questions my way. I'm going to load up here and kind of see how you guys are all going. Right. Who's all here? Good evening. How's everyone's ingredients looking? Are you ready to go? Pretty simple, just loads of flavor. Petrus wants to know if you preheat the oven. Yep, I answered that one already in a comment. So guys, preheat the oven to 220, get that going. We're going to cook the fish pretty quickly. It's going to be nice and hot, and it's going to go super quick. We'll get a little bit of prep done, it'll go in the oven, and we'll chat for sort of 8 to 10 minutes while it cooks. And that's kind of all there is to it. So let's check in. How are you guys doing? Louise, Vesta, hello, thanks for joining us. Petrus, you here? Pretty much this might be everyone I think that you've ticked off. I think we're into Chef Cook number 8 or 9, I've lost count. So it's good to see familiar faces pulling in each time. Makes the week quite nice for the Wednesday. Catherine Hermans, hello again. Lovely. Put yourself nice and hard today, which is awesome. And we can have some good feed. Loads of questions. Jade, Coach Jade is here. Mother Bear, back in the house again. I hope you guys are cooking Maritzburg. Simone, hello. And Cindy. Well. Samantha is looking forward to some yummy supper. Gillian, first online cooking session. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're going to have a little bit of fun, learn some things. I think the best thing about tonight is that it's not just the recipe, it's the little kind of technique that's going to be good for us to learn. There are all sorts of different things that you can cook in this method. It's a nice lean cooking method. We're actually steaming from within the oven. So it's super. You can do vegetables, you can do fish like this, you can do some chicken. So once you've kind of locked it down, you can experiment with it. So hopefully it's a nice skill for us all. Nikki, how hot's the oven? 220. Nice and hot. Pump up the temperature. Susanna's here with Kubus. Hello. Kim Ketley, hello. Lynette Pretorius, hello. Alison Harrison, looking forward to this again. Nice to see you again. Can you swap sun-dried tomatoes for cherry tomatoes? Yeah, you can. So there'll just be a little bit more liquid that comes out of them when you cook, and not as sort of a rich flavor out of them, but it's cool. You can play around with the vegetable toppings. These ones just go together quite nicely, so I'll run through them in a minute. But if you weren't able to find some sun-dried and some fresh ones, we'll be all right. Deirdre, hello. Nice to see you. Michaela's loving our elevator music. We'll have to zhuzh it up for you next time. Maybe a little bit of lounge jazz to get you going. Petrus couldn't find any white wine. I couldn't either. So old Cyril threw us all a massive curveball on Sunday. We don't have any white wine in our house. My wife drank it all. So what we left with is, look here. I've got a little bit of vermouth. That's something I quite often like to cook with. So we're just going to use that. But guys, it's not really a problem. If you don't have any wine, just needs a little bit of liquid, you can do a little bit of stock. So just have a little bit of stock going on the side dissolve some stock powder or stock cube. We only need sort of a couple of tablespoons of it. So it's just going to be a little bit of liquid that's going to help beam the fish. Tanya's here. Hello. Nice to see you as always. Untitled, fantastic. I always love seeing your meals at the end of the cook. One of the prettier ones that gets put on a plate. So remember, guys, at the end of the night, make sure you post them to Jeff together. Petrus is going to try some alcohol-free beer. It's going to be an interesting flavour. So let me know how it goes. I think it'll work. Be good. Liza, hello. Michelle Grace, hello. Robin Dreyer, the Dreyers. Thanks for joining us. How are you guys doing? Janet is here, cooking solo tonight. That's all right. A bit of me time in the kitchen is fine. I hope you've got yourselves a little glass of wine if you've got some left. Sandine, also no wine, so I've given you a couple of alternatives there. I'm a bit quiet this evening. Okay. Tomorrow, can you turn up my volume? My side is as high as it goes. Let me know if you guys are struggling to hear anything. Maybe I'm just a bit too far away. Lynette's first time too. Awesome. How many first timers have we got here? Let me know. I hope as well we've got a lot of Jeff members and a lot of Jeff one-on-one clients. And no freeloaders, guys. $200 a month. If you haven't signed up, go and do it. There's so much awesome stuff coming your way. And before we close it all off, having access to these cooks, loads of recipes, all our hit sessions, Flow, Jeff Ed, which was awesome. Was anyone here with us for the lunch yesterday? Every Tuesday I'm going to be doing those for you as well. So much value for your $200. Go and do it. If you haven't signed up, go. And who are one-on-one clients? Obviously all of our Wednesday cook-togethers and our Tuesday Jeff Ed is focused around our one-on-one programs and how you can adapt them. So let me know if you're here. Cheryl Ann's cooking again with us. Planted sliced some oranges, so it's nice. You'll get obviously just a slightly different flavour, a bit of acid and citrus flavour from there. The acid will help cook the fish a bit, which is cool. So Jono's here, big captain's in the house. Got lots. Keith's loving the background music, obviously. I didn't choose this one. I got an option of two, and it was this or something that was a little bit more elevated in the Michaela's comment. All right, guys, so I'll give you just a little run through on the prep, and then we've got a couple minutes and we'll get going. So move across to the side here.
Hello, everyone.
My head chef is back in the house.
I feel like I need a stool.
So what we've got, just a reminder, I'm cooking for two, so I've halved the recipe that you guys have got. 4 olives, obviously pips out, finely diced. Some sun-dried tomatoes, 4 of those sliced nice and fine as well. 4 capers, a clove of garlic, a couple sprigs of thyme. Got some crushed red pepper, or I've used some chili flakes for a little bit of spice. Some finely sliced lemons, some butter, whatever liquid you're going to use. Like I said, I'm doing some vermouth. We've got some white wine or some stock, that's cool. And lovely fillets of, I'm using king clip, but any white fish will do. And if you want to do a vegetarian version, I've got some Butterbeans, some white beans, anything like that that's pre-cooked. I actually, when I got these, I then thought, well, cool. I'm going to actually pop them in with the fish. It's going to give us something a little different. I think it might be quite nice. A little bit of Butterbeans, and then my fish is going to go on top. So just varying it up slightly. On the side, whip up a salad to go with this, or if you want to toast some nice bread, I've got some good sourdough, and we're going to do that. So, guys, get your last minute prep going. We are almost ready to go. There we go, guys. How snazzy was that? So Jeff is the new Jim. running you through the options. Like I said, if you're not one of our members, sign up. If you want more info on the one-on-one, pop us a call. Or I hope you've also registered for this Saturday, which is going to be rad. When we close up, I'm going to remind you of what's going on there, some cool stuff, with our breakfast run on Saturday. So let's get started. First, most important thing is the folding. So wax paper, get that. If you don't have any wax paper, some tin foil will work right as well. You want however many fillets of fish you're doing, that's how many pieces of wax paper. So nice sort of long sheets, about 40 centimeters. Okay, and all you're going to do, let's move it to the other camera, is first up, fold them in half the long way, so wherever the long side is. Move that out of the way. Nice and simple. You still see my sheet. Just fold in half. And make sure you've got a nice straight edge. Okay. So, in half. Then what we're going to do is draw a heart, half a heart shape, along the edge. Okay, so your edge is there on the fold, and you don't have to draw it if you just want to cut it. If your pen works, mine's not going to, so I'm just going to cut it. So start at the pointy side, and you can see I'm just going to cut diagonally up towards the top. And just before we get to the opening, we're going to come around and make a half heart. And voila, we've got a heart. When it comes to the other camera, you can have a better look at it. There it is. Okay, nice heart shape. All right, and quite simply, we're going to fill that and then wrap it up. Okay, we're going to do this. So it's good having to recap. So for the second one, fold it in half on the long side. Okay. And then half the heart. Okay. All right, Isabel wants to. So Claire's cutting the second one. Claire's with us. Hello, Claire. Nice to see you. How's everyone's cutting and folding going?
My cutting's not good.
Make sure you've got some sharp knives. By all accounts now, quite blunt. When you have to do something like this, you realize it's blunt. So you'll have two of those, one for each portion that you're going to do. I think Greer had a better heart.
I think so too.
Cool. All right. Super simple. How's everyone's hearts looking? Easy. Okay. No one complaining yet. Good. Okay. So then what we're going to do is move back to our camera here. I'll do one at a time. You've got your heart, and take one of your beautiful fish fillets, and this is going to be quite tight. Lay him close to the mid-fold, because once we put everything on there, we're going to fold him over and wrap it up. Okay. Most of you won't have any butter beans or anything, but I said I'm going to give this a try and see what it comes out like. Put a few butter beans on the bottom. So by using these, we're getting a bit more fiber into the dish, a little bit of carbohydrates and a bit more protein. And they're quite nice. So butter beans will give us a little bit of sweetness. They're quite delicious, and they'll give a nice texture once it's all cooked. Okay, so we'll have two of those. Do you want to do the second one?
Just like that.
Yeah. So just the fish onto there. Yeah, it's cool. that. And that's off.
Nice.
Make sure it doesn't go over the fold because you obviously want to wrap it over.
And this piece.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got two lovely 150 gram fillets of king clip. You could use some hake, you could use some cob, you could use some dorado. Any white fish will cook nice and quickly. It's just going to steam in there, which is fantastic. Super simple, super quick. Okay. All right. I think most people are just watching tonight by the looks of it. But that's all right. Okay, so we've got two of those ready to go. We're just going to prep together the flavors that are all going to go on top. So, in a frying pan, all right, small frying pan, we're going to have a little bit of olive oil, and the garlic and the crushed red pepper are going to go into there. So, show you what Brian is up to. But our roving camera tonight. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got our pan, medium heat. We're going to turn heat on first. A little bit of oil, garlic is going to go in there, and the crushed red pepper. Good. Super simple. We're going to fry that off for 2 minutes. Take it off the heat, and then we'll add the other flavors into it. Pop it on top of our fish, and we are ready to be easy. Yeah. Bring it back there until we're done. Okay, so we've got our garlic and crushed pepper or chili flakes, whatever you felt like using, and just frying off quickly, just to cook off the garlic a little bit. So it's not going to be in the oven for too long, so you might not cook it through perfectly. So we just want to get a little bit of heat into there to start off with. All right. So Priya's just going to sort Izzy out. Literally, you just need to start smelling it. You'll get the garlic and that lovely pepper smell. A little bit of color onto your garlic, just goes a little bit translucent. We're going to pull it off the heat, and then we're going to pop in the olives, the sun-dried tomatoes, and the capers just to heat through slightly. Dressed it on top of our fish, fold it, stick it in the oven. Okay, and then talk rubbish for a few minutes until it's ready to go. All right. So it's looking pretty good. Nice and easy. Everyone with us? Everyone who's not being load shed. Hopefully we're still fun. But I think there's some dark spaces in Cape Town tonight and all around the country. Okay, so it smells good, looks good. Heat off. All right. So take it off the heat, and then I'll bring it here. Drop it in there. Okay, so it's our garlic, and into there goes our sun-dried tomatoes. Give it a stir around. Our olives, just the residual heat from the pan is just going to heat it slightly, and our capers. Okay. You're either a caper person or you're not. My wife's not. I love them. Lovely little bit of saltiness that you get from it. How are you guys with capers? If you don't like them, leave them out. It's totally fine. You just have to might be a little bit more generous with the seasoning. All right. Series watching from the bath. It's a good place to watch from. How are you doing? It's been a tough day. I saw Siri a little bit earlier. I think the one-on-one workouts that they're filming are looking epic, but it's a lot of work for Jono and Siri. All right, so that's nicely heated, just from that residual heat. We'll do one here at a time. So obviously here we've got our fish, what we're going to do is just half of your mixture, or a quarter if you're doing 4 portions, just at the top. So. Okay, and you're going to season it as well. Get some of that on there.
See?
Looks good, smells great. How's your guys' kitchen smelling? A bit of salt, a bit of pepper. Okay, and then lay the lemons over that. So a couple of slices, we'll get about 4 on each stem here. Okay, a couple of sprigs of thyme, some lovely flavor. Okay, so it's a nice lean cooking method. The protein itself is super lean, so there's very little fat in the fish. Obviously, you remember my mantra all the time: protein, fiber, fat. We need to make sure there's some form of fat in there. And in this case, we're using some butter. It's just a teaspoon. So a teaspoon of butter will go on top, and as that steams, it's going to melt quite nicely. You can use some olive oil if you want that flavor, or if you're looking to change the fat profile of your dish, that's good as well. And the last thing that'll go on there is just a tablespoon of liquid. If you want stock, that's cool. If you've got your wine, that's what's going to go on there. See, our pantry is dry, and I'm just kicking off a little bit of vermouth. So just going to be a drizzle in there to help it once it heats up. Just a smidgen. Oops. Okay. So that's that. All the flavors are in there. We've seasoned it. We've got our lovely caper, olive, and sun-dried tomato mix. We've got the sliced lemons on top with the thyme, and a little bit of liquid. And now it's time to wrap. So I think this is the hardest part of it. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to see how everyone's doing. Nikki loves capers. Fantastic. Right. That's Ryan, loving it. Gillian, repeat the toppings, please, and left behind. Cool. So I'll give it a couple minutes before we get stuck into the folding. So what we've done, I've layered the layer of Butterbeans at the bottom. That wasn't in the recipe, but I winged it because the vegetarian version, we'll just use the Butterbeans with all the topping on top, or any other kind of bean will be pretty good there as well. We've got the fish, which is raw, just seasoned. On top of that was the mix of quickly fried garlic with the crushed peppers or chili flakes, whichever you use. We put the capers, the olives, and the sun-dried tomatoes in there. Just stirred it up, they're warm, put that over the top, sliced lemons, thyme, butter, and whatever liquid you're using, whether it's wine or stock or anything like that. Okay, so hopefully you guys is looking like that. And we're going to fold. All right, so all we want to do here is fold it, make sure it's closed nicely, so as it cooks some natural liquids inside there, steam, it just steams inside. So great cooking method, very low fat cooking method if you're not adding fat. Super way to do some vegetables, do a nice quick cooking protein like this. So once you've got it waxed, play around, excuse the pun, and you can do a couple different things. Okay, so I'm a little worried it's slightly big, but let's see how the fold goes. Okay, so just make sure it's off center, all right? And you're going to start up at the top here. You're going to wrap it over, okay? And all you need to do, the first fold happens up at the top of the heart. Okay, so you fold it over and make sure that this is each time that you're folding it, you're getting some good pressure on that line so it kind of seals. Right? And you go to the next one and fold it over. Okay, go across a little bit more and fold it over. Torn. Just double fold over there. Okay, and just keep going. So all you're doing is making little pockets keep going. As you go around, make sure each of those is good. Okay. And as you get to the tail, what you're going to do now is wrap it up. So you're going to twist it. So grab from the tail here, and we're just going to, my fish is a little bit big there, happen, and you just twist it up. Okay, so now you've got a good envelope of fish. And that is going to go straight onto your parchment paper, onto your baking tray, and it's going to go into the oven. Okay, so the second one, remember, fold it over, and start at the top. You're just making little folds at each time. Make sure it's closed. This one's a little bit big inside, so I'm going to double it up each time. You've got a little butter knife or a pastry knife or something. It works well just to go over the fold once you're done. See that? Okay. Doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to close. And once you get to the tail, you just twist it up. Okay. And it's going to go into the oven. So, let's have a look there. Looks good. Right, so your oven's super hot. 220 degrees, and depending on the thickness of your fish, that's going to cook for 8 to 10 minutes. Those fillets were, the one was a little bit thinner, so they will take that out to start off with. And what's going to happen, the liquid that we put in there, the natural liquid from obviously the fish, the butter, it's going to melt, it's going to steam, and it's just going to cook itself from inside. So super option to do with various things, really nice kind of cooking method, and then you can dish it up. All right, so while that goes, we'll put together whatever salad you're going to do. So Greer's going to whip up a little slaw for us, our favorite family slaw. Let me know what greens you're doing on the side. We didn't tell you what to do, but we're going to revisit one of our favorites, which is just a simple slaw with the yogurt and lemon juice dressing. We're also going to toast some sourdough and serve that with it. If you want to keep it lower carb, obviously you won't have the toast with it, and you'll just pump up the veg inside of it. All right. Okay, we catch up with a few of you guys, see how we are going. Nice quick cooking, exactly. So what's beautiful here, obviously fish does cook very quickly, and this method, we've got a nice hot oven. All it needs to do as soon as everything's kind of cooking from the inside, it should steam up beautifully, and everything will cook super quickly. Kim Ketchy's doing some steamed broccoli and green beans. Fantastic. Lynette wants to know where the wine goes. So the liquid that you stick into the parchment paper before you kind of seal it up. So remember, we had the fish, we had the topping, and that was the sun-dried tomato mix. We had the lemons with the thyme, and then added the butter and whatever liquid. So if it's wine in this instance, that's how it'll go. Okay, so that's where it went in, and that wine's going to heat up and help it steam. All right. Lauren Oosthuizen's first cook along. How are you going? And let us know.
Hello, Lauren.
Yes, it's all. Roast veg is done in the dry fry. Nice. Fantastic. Gillian, that sounds pretty good. Belinda, hello. How are you? Belinda Keys is actually, so she's the estate agent for a house that we've put an offer in. So she came across us and sent me a message and said she's just done Jono's class and she couldn't get out of bed. Jono smashed her. But I hope you've come back for some more pain and now in the kitchen with us. Good to see you. Michelle Rogers, that's good. It looks like there is some caper love, which is fantastic. All right, good. Our kitchen's smelling pretty good. My two other sous chefs on the back end. Let me take you across there. You can see what Chris is doing.
Some yogi.
Does he say hello? Cool. So our slaw is a super simple one. It's one of our go-to all the time. We've just got some shredded cabbage, white and red. Yeah. Do you want to?
I'm going to add some chili just
Yeah.
for a change.
We've got some chili in there.
And then I'll add some lemon rind, some lemon juice, and salt and pepper. What's it? Yogurt.
Cool.
Super simple.
So obviously instead of some mayo, we're going with the yogurt. You'll add a little bit of lemon juice, get a little bit of zing in there. We add the lemon rind as well. Super simple, nice, lean, good quality way of getting a slaw. So it goes with all sorts of things. That's absolutely nice chili. Obviously, you can get in for that. Simple.
I'm quite hot, so I'm taking the seeds out.
Looking good, smelling good. How's your guys' kitchen? How's it smelling? Fantastic. Okay. So what's nice about that straw as well, you can mix it up, you can add all sorts of things. Some dried cranberries go in there quite nicely. You can add some walnuts for a little bit of texture and some healthy fats if you want. Obviously that's our choice of veg for the night. Yeah. Yeah. Once everything's ready, we'll come and dish. Okay. Okay, how is everybody doing? Looks good. Got some capers. Nice. Steamed veggies with leeks, cooked in balsamic vinegar. That sounds fantastic. Love doing a little bit of roast or fried veg with some balsamic. Fantastic. Very nice way to do it. Quick little fry and some broccoli with some balsamic at the end. Fantastic. Nice way to do it. Hey, Yali, looks delicious. Gonna give it a try. Awesome. Kim Ketley's kitchen smelling good. Sam Paddock is in the house. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Caitlin loves capers. Awesome. I'm a massive caper fan. That splits the household. It does look delicious. And Dean says the slaw looks good. Smelling great. So our big captain Jono wants to know. The aprons. Who wants one? You guys like them? Should we add them to our swag? Will you get them? Let us know. We listen to you guys. So the swag store is looking pretty sick these days. Socks, pretty cool. The gents' vests or the gents' shirts are nice. The ladies' vests. If you don't have anything, stock up. Get them for your breakfast run. Maybe cutting a little bit fine. But if you're not wearing the Jeff Fitness, you're not representing us. And Dean's got leftover walnuts from the brownies. That brownie recipe got a lot of love. So hopefully there are a couple walnuts lying around, which is super. You're getting some kudos for your knife skills on the chili.
Wouldn't sound very good at that.
Sam says capers are his weakness. They need baby potatoes with veg and capers. Cool. The capers would actually go quite nicely with the baby potatoes. You can use the yogurt dressing we're doing with the slaw and some capers. Quite a nice way to make a potato salad that again isn't whacked full of mayo. Lots of love for the Master Jeff aprons, especially for everyone who's been here since the beginning. loving it, rocking it. Cool. Jono says if he gets 50 yeses, he'll put in an order. Right, we need to get to 50. How many have we got? Show the love. Right. This one actually, it might not have been the exact recipe, but the first cooking class I ever went to was a previous life in London. Went to this little swazzy joint, and they did fish on Papillote for us. Showed us how. It was a fantastic evening. So it's one that's always kind of resonated. It's been, I most probably haven't done it since then, to be honest, but someone had recommended it as a good technique to show. So I thought I'd dust it off and give it a try again. So I've taken some liberties with the recipe, but it should come out all right. Our kitchen's smelling pretty good. Lots of guesses. John, I don't know if you're counting them. I've lost count, so it looks good. Lots of guesses. Let's read them all out. Alison says yes by 50, so we're already there. Done. Petrus, Nikki, Caitlin, Michelle, Tanya, Hayley, Kim, Petrus. Catherine and the family. Everyone wants one. Belinda, we'll even send them to Jen. Why not? Rachel wants to know when our stuff's going international. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Good. Cool. There we go. Delicious. The straw was in picture. We'll put it back. So it's there. Super simple, guys. How easy was that? Greer whipped that up from kind of a quick panic of not knowing what else to serve on the side, but we've got it. What we're going to do as well, just before the fish finishes, just toast some sourdough. I'm going to show you just a quick way to zhuzh it up a little bit. So we got some lovely sourdough. From Skua. Sourdough, fantastic. I think half of South Africa, or half of everywhere, tried their hand at the sourdough starter through. So it was either banana bread or sourdough. It's kind of what the lockdown did. So we're just going to slice a couple slices there. Quick dust in some olive oil, and you've got some garlic, just cut in half. You're going to give it a quick rub, toast it in the oven, and you're going to get some nice flavor out of it. So just a nice way to make your toast a little bit more sexy. And then done. So you just need 1 or 2 slices. Obviously, if you don't need the carbs. Yeah, just a little bit. Can you see it in the picture there? Closer. Little drizzle of olive oil onto your bread, and rub them with your garlic. You just get a nice little garlic flavor without it being garlic bread. Garlic hangover that might get you. Cool, let's catch up. How's everyone doing? Cindine's never liked to cook, and she's changed that. It absolutely makes my. So, guys, I mean, that's the fun of it. Things are chaos, but we're trying to make some delicious things easy and fun to do. So, cooking along is part of it. Banging your head and getting things wrong is the other. Things don't always go to plan. Which is cool. Don't be afraid. Try things in the kitchen, make some mistakes, and just have a little bit of fun. It's a cool place to spend the end of the evening. Petrus is doing some peas and paninis. Nice. Samantha was banana bread. Brilliant. So I got caught off my monologue on sourdough, but a nice alternative to just a sort of typical bread. So what's nice is it falls in line with our sort of fermented foods family, creating a sourdough starter, using that instead of yeast, so it's naturally leavened, and the fermentation that happens when creating the sourdough. For a lot of people who don't tolerate wheat or gluten, they might get away with sourdough, so the fermentation actually lowers some of the gluten content, so it's a nice option for some people who don't tolerate it as well. So we're always trying to get some more fermented foods into our sourdoughs, a version of it. There's no live bacteria, no live probiotics as you might get in things like kimchi, yogurts and things like that. Always good to add to your intake, but it's a good food nonetheless. All right, so our fish should be pretty close. I'm going to pop in our toast for 2 minutes. We'll serve with it. It's a nice hot oven. And last couple minutes, and we're going to plate and serve. So whatever your side is, make sure that's ready. If you're doing some salad or some roast veg, have that ready to go. Your fish should be pretty close. I didn't put the timer on, but I reckon we're at about 8 minutes. And we just need another 2. Belinda says Wednesdays are her favourite. It's a pleasure having you guys in our home. And it breaks the week quite nicely. We get to play with all of you guys. All right, Sam. Hopefully you guys do learn something every now and then. Try to drop a little gem whenever I can, whenever I remember these things. So if it can give you some skills, if it can give you some knowledge, that's what it's all about. Some of it's going to spill over into Jeff Ed as well, Tuesdays. So remember to come pop in there. The Grant Dreyer has just joined us. The whole Dreyer clan of G. Okay. Toast is almost done. And we're going to get ready to plate. We'll do that. Yeah. Okay. How's everyone's dishes going? Okay, so whatever your veg side, the chef's gonna take care of that. So a good portion of veg, right? At least 1 to 2 cups, depending on your goals. Remember, plate model, nice way to go. If you're trying to keep things pretty sort of lean and tight, veg, half the plate, protein, half the plate as a sort of starting point. Your bumper. So a nice good portion of veg on there. Your greens, your salad, whatever you're doing. And let's get our fish out. Okay. This smells fantastic. Smell nice. Okay. The parchment might be a little stuck. We'll be able to do a reveal on this. Smells damn good. Right, so I'll just stack a little bit. Watch out for the steam as you open that. Straight away, you get the thyme, you get the tomatoes, you get the capers. It smells fantastic. And our garlic sourdough. Right. That is it. Fantastic. We've got a little bit of slaw, whatever veg you decide to do it with. King kip with the caper, sun-dried tomato, lemon, and olive topping. A little bit of the Butterbeans, so if you went veg, obviously it'll be Butterbean based. Sourdough toast. Super simple cooking method, hopefully a method that you can carry over to any other way. Do it with some chicken, do it with some fish, do it with your vegetables. Fantastic way to kind of steam without doing steaming and keep all the flavor and nutrition in there, and you don't lose it. Put it on a plate and bang it out, and hopefully it smells as good as ours. And the proof will be in the pudding. We'll taste it shortly, but I've got high hopes for this one. Fantastic, guys. Post your pictures to Jeff together. I want to see them. I want to see how you guys went, and send your questions and comments as well. I'll catch up on a couple just before we sign off and let you know about Saturday to remind you. I'm just going to pop the other fish in because it is a quicker portion. Give that another 2 minutes. So, guys, Saturday breakfast run. I hope you've all signed up. Get there, get your race numbers. We've got an awesome 67 minutes that we're going to be out on Saturday morning. Register, donate $50 to Jam. You can help feed a kid. And after the run, join me and Ivor Jones, who is the head chef at Chef's Warehouse at Oak on Stanshire, who's doing a super breakfast for us. So I'm going to be at the side of the camera again for a change, but it is going to be so much fun. From 8 till 7 minutes past 9, we're going to be running, and at 9:30, tune in, join us. Fantastic frittata with the little. It's going to be part of our 1.5 days. We've got a hollandaise that is going to knock your socks off. Bacon and chive. It's amazing. So don't worry too much about calories on Saturday morning. Go in with your run. Check in, register. I really hope to see you guys there. Next Tuesday we'll have Jeff Ed again, and next Wednesday I'll see together. I hope to see you guys all with us then. It's been awesome. It's been great. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Cheers.